May this video find all of my 3 a.m.ers, everyone who just goes to sleep like normal and then out the blue wake up at 3 a.m. So if this happens to you quite frequently, this is for you. Now, sometimes you may wake up due to a nightmare. Sometimes you may not. Sometimes you just wake up just suddenly. What it means is, and you could have dreams with this, or you could not have dreams. I'm here to tell you what it means when you wake up at 3 a.m. Between, let's say, 2 to 4 a.m. That's the time. And by the time you roll over and look at your phone, it's almost 3. It's a little bit after 3. What that means is somebody is literally sending you a spiritual attack. So the witching hour is from 3 to 6. That's why they call 12 a.m. the witching hour. But the veil is actually the thinnest around 3 a.m. That is the time in biblical lore, and there's a word for it, in theistic religions, specifically Christianity, 3 a.m. is a very significant time. That is the time when Jesus supposedly rose from the dead and da-da-da-da-da, right? And I think he was sacrificed he died at 3 p.m. and then rose at 3 a.m. like 3 days later. So 3 a.m. is a very, very important number. In a lot of scary movies, it's always 3 a.m. People are always waking up in possession movies at 3 a.m. And the reason why 3 a.m. is such a significant number, and it may hold true for me and you in real life and in spirituality in general, is because the veil between the spiritual realm and the physical realm becomes the thinnest. So this is when you can talk to passed over loved ones. This is when your angels come to you. This is when your ancestors may come to you in your dreams. And I mean communicate with them is your clairs. That's clairvoyance, clairsentience, is however you communicate. It doesn't mean you're literally you taking out a Ouija board. Like, I don't recommend that, because to be honest, a lot of people don't know who they're talking to. And I still don't recommend talking to loved ones during this time, because if you don't already have an established connection, if you don't know the ways in which they communicate with you, just going off the rip to communicate with them, they are a lot of trickster spirits that can come to you as a past loved one. They may know certain things. You ask them a question, a very personal question that you and maybe your grandmother only knew. They may get that question right. And next thing you know, you're talking to something that's not your grandma. Not your grandma's energy, not your grandma's spirit, not your aunt, not your mom, not your dad. And that's what these scary movies hint on, because often there are trickster spirits. So if you don't know how to invite them in correctly, if you don't know how to protect yourself correctly, if you don't know, if you're not practicing it, if they haven't been reaching out to you, I wouldn't reach out to them first. You'll know if they're reaching out to you. It'll be made aware to you. Maybe at first you won't know, but over time you will know. And then I also wouldn't do it at 3 a.m. So try it during the daytime, So if they're really coming to you, it's not some trickster spirit that can easily pierce the veil. They're really trying to get to you. And then you can learn energy signatures. You'll learn. So for me, I feel. So I can feel the energy. The energy may feel familiar. If it doesn't feel familiar, it may feel off. So I know it's not them. That's just for an example. So let's get back to why you wake up at 3 a.m. about how someone is sending you spiritual attacks. Okay? You never know what someone else practice. You never know what someone else does. Okay? You have a lot of what they call kitchen witches out there. And I feel like it's nothing wrong necessarily being a kitchen witch, but a lot of people use it for bad. Oh my gosh. Y'all. I'm like, please excuse me, because like my legs is all of a sudden on fire and I know they've eaten me up. I guess the smoke ain't affecting them, because apparently it's some smoke, and I guess if you live anywhere on the East Coast that they claim coming from Canada, I think they doing something else. But anyways, if you'll be surprised at what people can do, what people do, what they practice. And oftentimes 3 a.m. is your angels waking you up so that whatever attack is being sent, it doesn't pierce your veil, it doesn't pierce your aura, it doesn't pierce into your, let's say, your subconscious mind. Because if it gets to your subconscious mind, right, your subconscious mind kind of feels everything anyway, but if it truly gets to your subconscious mind, then that's when damage can be done. That's when whatever, spell they sent, whatever curse they sent, whatever blockages they may have sent, okay, whatever they have spoken over your name, over your life, over your future, you may subconsciously take that on. And if you take that on as your own, that's when it starts to take effect. So sometimes your angels just want you to be conscious. They want you to be awake, okay? Because you being conscious and you not even knowing what's happening, that kind of creates a layer. It creates a barrier to where so it can't get through to your subconscious. Your subconscious in a way becomes protected. So it's not a bad thing that you wake up at 3 a.m., okay? And don't think of it as an inconvenience. Oh, I got to go to work tomorrow. Oh, I got to go to school tomorrow. Oh, I got an exam tomorrow. Think about it differently. If you may have told somebody about your exam, and they may be secretly sending you daggers. You never know. Other people may be kept up all night. People may be up all night just thinking about you. They can't go to sleep. They're just thinking and thinking and thinking. And then they get to you. It doesn't always have to be in the form of formal witchcraft, right? Like a formal spell, a formal ritual. It could just simply be that people can't sleep at night. People stay up to 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and in the midst of them staying up, doom scrolling, feeling bad about themselves, feeling bad about their lives, they think about you. They think about your light. They think about what you got going on. And then the jealousy sits in. And then all of a sudden, they're thinking about you in a negative way. All of a sudden, they're sending spiritual attacks and they don't even know it. But they're sending it to you while you're the most vulnerable, which is why you're asleep. Because like I said, the conscious provides a level of spiritual defense. There's a level of spiritual defense. And why? Because the ego is attached to the conscious, not the subconscious. The ego ain't all bad, y'all. The ego is not all bad. And the ego fights tooth and nail for us. The ego fights tooth and nail to make sure certain things don't get through. To make sure we don't do certain things. But just like the ego protects us, can sometimes hinder us from doing certain things, the ego protects certain things from coming in. So you're at a gathering and people sending you daggers, you know what I'm saying? People evil eyeing you, you know what I'm saying? It may look innocent, it may not. They may be giving you dirty looks, and may not. But you looking good that day. You know what I'm saying? The ego was feeling real high, real good, real mighty. You worked on your self-image. You know what I'm saying? You work with your ego. You work with your conscious mind. And so your ego got this defensive, like, you know what? I ain't even tripping off y'all. I know it is what it is. I ain't even tripping off y'all. So Whatever is going on within them, whatever energy waves that they're sending your way, you don't feel it. I've experienced this recently, time and time again, where it's just like, it's not that I put myself in these situations, but if you cannot avoid certain situations, it just bounce. You may even notice a little bit, but then it just go bounce, bounce, bounce. You're not getting mad, you're not getting irritated, you're not getting sad. You're not feeling like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with me on a deeper level. You're not feeling like, oh my goodness, people just always, because you know what, I used to feel like that. How it feels when it gets to your subconsciouses, you feel like at a soul level, at a deep level, there's something wrong with you. Because it's like, why is people attacking me? Why don't people like me? Why do half the people I meet love me and half the people I meet hate me? That can be very conflicting. Is there something wrong with me? Do I deserve to be here? If they're attacking your beauty, your looks, you begin to dim yourself. You begin to wear stuff where your body doesn't show as much. You begin to not take care of yourself, not take care of your skin, not brush your teeth. You begin to subconsciously dim yourself. Now all of a sudden you don't feel like going to the gym. You don't feel like wearing your cute clothes. You're more attracted to something that's big and bulky and rat-a-tatted. You don't feel like looking cute today. And I know we've all had those. I don't feel like it. I just feel like just wearing anything today. That's not you. That is not your true self. Your true self, unless you're a person who just doesn't dress up on a normal, you know what I'm saying? Or likes to look nice on a normal. If like that's your normal, when you feel good, if you normally just, if that's your aesthetic, then fine. You know, I don't think there's many people out there. I'm not saying you always gotta look like, be dressed up, but you can still look cute and you're dressed down, if you know what I mean. But if you're choosing the rat-a-tatted, if you're just hiding, that's a self-esteem issue that sometimes doesn't come from us. It comes from other people. It comes from us taking on the energy projections of other people. They're insecure about how you look, so they're projecting insecurity, hate, jealousy, and you begin to take that on, and all of a sudden you're insecure. All of a sudden you want to hide. So your ego does a lot for you. Your ego can be your best friend at times. You never want to get rid of your ego. You never want to kill your ego. Okay, a lot of people say kill your ego, get rid of your shadow side, da-da-da-da-da. Spirit is speaking back there, because you never want to do that, okay? You never want to treat your ego as if it's the enemy, because the ego will always be a part of you. And the ego has always just been trying to protect you. It may not have always known. As children, do we know how to fend for ourselves, defend us? No. And if you were a child and no one has ever defended you, how do you know what defense look like? Now, sometimes you may learn in those situations, but you may not learn properly. You may learn that defense is being overly defensive, shutting people out, being guarded, being mean. You know, a lot of mean and nasty people, sometimes, I'm not giving them an excuse for it, but sometimes they were attacked the most. And they don't know how to properly defend themselves. They don't know how to defend themselves by uplifting themselves, by pouring into themselves. Okay? They still look for validation from other people. And as long as you're looking for validation from other people, there's a level of defense that you just cannot hold, because now you're at the mercy of other people's thoughts. And you cannot control their thoughts. Their thoughts come from what they've been through. So if they've been through any type of trauma, any type of anything, now you're absorbing, you know what I'm saying? Your self-image is at the mercy of their trauma, their insecurity, their jealousies. And so you can never truly defend yourself. So the only way to defend yourself is to put a guard around your heart. It's to attack them before they attack you. Those types of mindsets. But all of that is just to protect your heart, to protect that little child that got bashed, that got teased, that got put to the side, that got made feel like they're less worthy. But there are other better ways in which to do that. Now, I don't want to go to the left because that kind of, you know what I'm saying, back to this is why the angels, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your ascended masters, the universe, source, even Gaia wake you up. To wake you up and be like, hey, you need your ego to defend you right now because somebody's sending you something, sending you some projections that are not in line with who you truly are. And your ego needs to be aware to block it instead of it going straight to your subconscious. This is why using substances to go to sleep is not the best thing, because your spiritual defenses get whittled all the way down. And a lot of times they can just directly access your subconscious. So my peoples who need the substances to go to sleep, watch that if you can. If you can kind of create a schedule where you don't use the substance right before to go to sleep, or you don't use the substance to go to sleep. If you can look into magnesium. Magnesium is great. Rub magnesium on your skin. Like do the magnesium oil, then rinse it off. You could take magnesium tablets. I don't recommend melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone, and hormones will affect your other hormones. It affects your pineal gland. So which means it affects the physical part of your third eye chakra, and which releases DMT while you sleep, which is kind of like the miracle. It's like a miracle drug. They don't quite understand it because when your pineal gland is activated and when you're going to sleep, DMT is what's released right before you die. It's released when you take psychedelics, so it allows you to really pierce the veil. So when you dream, you also astral travel as well. So sometimes you're already in the spiritual realm. You can get attacks through the spiritual realm, through astral travel. I've had that plenty of times before. I've opened up my third eye chakra a little bit too wide, too open. And if it's too open, sometimes you can receive unwanted psychic attacks, right? Because there's no guard there. You can be exposed to too much. So I've had people attack me through my dreams. I've had people attack me through the astral realms. So when you wake up, when you're having a dream and you just wake up, or even if you're not having a dream and you just wake up, trust and believe that this is your spirit team protecting you from whatever it is that they're sending you. And there may be certain times in life where, you know what I'm saying, they may let some attacks come through just so you know who's attacking you. Because the good thing about dreams is whoever's attacking you, they'll pop up in that dream. They'll pop up as the attacker. They may not. Because I had a dream about, it was crazy. It was like a house party. And once I left the house party, my arm started hurting. And me and my mother had started arguing. But then my sister was there. And then I turned to her out of nowhere. She just popped up out of nowhere after me and my mother was arguing. And I turned to her and I said, it feels like someone's stabbing me in my arm. I turned to her and I said, my arm is hurting. My arm is hurting. And she was like, yes, somebody's stabbing you in your arm. And then I woke up and my arm was aching. And it wasn't that I slept on it. It was like sharp pains, aching. So it could be that somebody was using a voodoo doll on me. I've had that happen a couple times. I was sitting up in my room like a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden I got this sharp pain in my eye. I'm trying to tell you, like, once you really experienced it, it's like, whoa, this stuff really does work. Whoa, this stuff really does happen. That's your physical body picking up on the spiritual. The physical and the spiritual are connected. You feel somebody, you feel it, and then you feel it in the physical because it's so strong. They are waking you up to protect you from all of that. Somebody likes to play with voodoo dolls at night. They're gonna wake you up, okay? If it's detrimental to you, if it's something where, okay, and it even may be, they may let you know the first time, let you experience it the first time so you can see who's attacking you. But once they say no, once you've learned the lesson of, yes, this is these people, is this person, they're like, okay, enough is enough. You're not ready to keep attacking her. But because people have free will, this is why you have to ask your angels for help. That's why you have to pray. Because you have the free will. If you think you can handle stuff on your own, then they're going to let you 100% handle it. Not even 100%, because, you know, there's always a little buffer with spirit. Spirit always got grace for us. But they will let you handle it on your own. This is why you see practitioners, new practitioners, who like to do baneful spells. Oh, this person cut me off in line, I'm about to put her in the jaw. That's why you see bad stuff happening to them. That's why you see spells backfiring on them. That's why when you see people who's really ready to go to war with them, who's ready to send them back, sometimes they lose. Even though they may not have been the one that started it in the first place. Because when you fight your own battles, it's always a chance that you will lose. You don't know who's backing that other person. They may not have, you know what I'm saying? There's also a saying is you never know who God is protecting, but you never know what is backing that other person. Negative people attract negative entities. And you never know who's backing that other person. So if you ready and you think you ready and you think you equipped to go against an army of demons all by yourself, then honey, and you may not even know, you may see a person, it may be a physical person, but that physical person got an army of demons behind them, baby. And instead of letting spirit handle it, they did something atrocious to you. They did, you know what I'm saying? They violated you. These mosquitoes eat me up, y'all. But you gotta take the good with the bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ready to spray a lot of chemicals on me. I might do a little natural thing, but I don't know. I'm not spraying a bunch of chemicals to kill other bugs and all that. You gotta take the good with the bad in nature. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, in life as well, I think that's why people can't handle life, because we're always trying to take out the stuff that we don't like instead of just enjoying the whole journey. You know, I try to think of it, okay, it's fun to itch. I don't know. It's a satisfying feeling when you itch the mosquito bites. I don't know. You gotta be creative sometimes in your positivity. It may sound weird, but it is what it is. Dang, spirit. Oh, so yeah, you may be taking on that whole legion and you don't even know. You don't know who they pray to. You don't know the support they didn't garner from all the bad stuff they did over the years. But here you go, Miss New Witch. That's like, oh yeah, I'm about to do it. Or even if you a seasoned witch, oh yeah, I'm about to do it. I can take it on. And you take on the wrong person. And I remember I saw somebody when I first was in spirituality, how she said she was running out the house because she had demons trying to sexually assault her, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when you think you can fight your own battles. I have 100% white hands, pure hands. Ain't no blood on my hands. Nope. Because I let spirit handle it, and spirit always does. And may not be, oh, it's also videos of being like, I'm not ready to let God handle it because God take too long. I got this. And you may be wrong. You may swear up and down that they did you wrong or whatever the case may be, but whatever you did in return might have been too much. You might have had no business doing whatever you thought you was doing, and may have had consequences that was greater than what they even did to you. And you just earned yourself some karma, baby. So then that's what I'm saying about them spells backfiring, and all of a sudden you getting karma, thinking they attacking you, you are going to attack them again, and it just compounds because we think we know it all. Sometimes y'all be having the spiritual discernment from a fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't. So this is why I say, also, you never know who is so divinely protected. You know what I'm saying? The divine might have, this divinely person might be having a bad day or whatever the case may be. But she didn't really mean any ill harm. He didn't really mean any ill harm. But you took it as, oh, they got an attitude, or I'm sick of them always having, or you know what I'm saying? They might be in a protective phase, and they might be protected and whatever. Not saying that they going out doing bad things, but maybe, you know what I'm saying, you bumped into them by accident and they just, you know what I'm saying, box yourself. They wild you out a little bit. But you like, oh, they just disturbed your spirit so bad that you want to go and put them in a jar, in the freezer. You want to go do something to them. And next thing you know, you got angels knocking on your door like, what's up? What's up? And the more you keep your hands clean, like I said, the more you're letting the spirit realm know you don't fight your own battles. You're strong and resilient. Like I said in my previous video, Seraphim Michael just wants you to stand next to him. You just stand strong and they got the rest. Now all of a sudden, somebody who even makes you cry, somebody who even gets smarts with you and sends you negative energy, that's the level of protection you start to garner. Oh, they coming through, they sliding through. And the same energy they gave out, they might get it back and then a little bit more, because it's like, don't with my anointed. That's my baby right there. Everybody else would have took stuff in their own hands, but she stayed pure. Don't with my baby, don't with him. He don't mess with nobody. So I'ma get you. So yes, you are protected. You are very protected. And this is why, you know what I'm saying, you may start to wake up. Because after a while, it's like, okay, that's enough. You know what I'm saying? Stop. They don't do nothing to nobody. They already know who you are. Stop sending them stuff. So because you have free will to do what you want, everybody has free will, negative or positive. Because they can't necessarily, they may get their karma, but they may keep doing it. Because that's another delusion of negative people. They think that you're doing spells on them, but that's just your ancestors, your angels. That's just the universe giving them back what they're given. So they just keep doing it. It's like they're fighting God. Then they begin to fight God, because a lot of my spiritual adversaries have been fighting God for a long time, thinking that it's me. Because I don't hide what I believe in. I don't hide the fact that I do spells on myself, because I truly don't believe that anybody in the physical is important enough for me to use my magic on, baby. I just use my magic to level up to where so you can't even touch me. Because you can level up, raise your vibration, raise your frequency a certain height where certain attacks just can't get you. But sometimes they go low. You know what I'm saying? As you go higher, they go lower. So, you know, it's always new levels, new devils. So sometimes they just gotta wake you up. Sometimes they just gotta wake you up. It is what it is. Because they know that your defenses are weakest when you sleep. And you never know who's into what. I knew my sister wasn't religious, but I didn't know until the whole COVID thing happened. And she put me on. But I didn't know, like she was so into it. She wasn't just into spirituality. She was into voodoo, the voodoo books. And I'm not saying voodoo is bad. It's just all in what you use it for. But then in some of them voodoo books, it was talking about graveyard magic. And she was like, oh, yeah, just use grandma grave and leave her something. I'm like, and no. And I did. I ended up getting some, and I ended up putting my feet in it. I ended up grounding in her graveyard dirt. But that was specifically so that I can connect with her. It was specifically so I can ground myself to my ancestors. That was my intention in it. I literally put it in the bath, put some bath water, and soaked my feet in it. So your root is actually the chakra that is connected to your ancestors. And boy, did I become connected to my ancestors and to her. She has really came through. But to use graveyard dirt in any other way is wild. Y'all don't do it, y'all. But anyways, I hope this video helps. This is why you wake up at 3 a.m. Don't be afraid. Even if you know this video now, you wake up at 3 a.m. Don't be afraid. You know, oftentimes you won't be afraid when you wake up. You'll just be up. And sometimes, like, you really can't go to sleep, back to sleep until, like, it's like eventually something will pass. The energy will pass. And then you'll just get really sleepy again. That's another indicator of how you know somebody's sending you energy, because you're up and you're just up. You may be up for 20 minutes, you may be up for 30 minutes, you may be up for 40 minutes, and you're just up. And then just all of a sudden, no matter what you do, you can't go back to sleep. Then all of a sudden, no matter what you are doing, you'll get sleepy again. And that's them telling you, okay, you can go back to sleep now. The energy has passed. So I hope this helps, because I know sometimes things happen spiritually and some of us may not be all the way aware of what that means, but you are safe, you are protected. Just remember, when you wake up, don't be scared and think like, oh, somebody's attacking me. Think of it in the positive way. Oh, I'm being protected. Because you can't anticipate who's, attacking you. You can't stop them anyway. Don't even be worried about it, because where attention goes, energy goes. So if you be worried about that, then you'll start to let them in. You'll start to let those energy attacks in. You start to give it power over you. Nope, just be like, I'm protected, baby. You thought you was going to do whatever, and I'm still going to wake up. Don't worry about you waking up or not getting enough sleep. You'll be fine, okay? Whatever you're being protected from is much more important than the 45, 35 minutes of sleep that you might have missed. Trust me. So I hope this helps. I'll see you guys next time.